Greetings everyone, welcome back to another video. We're back playing Katawa Shoujo, and right now my nose is kind of stuffy. So I might be sneezing a lot, but whatever. We're back playing Katawa Shoujo. This might be the last video of Emis path. But we'll see. We'll see depending on how long is left. We're on the final chapter and there's not a lot of acts left. So yeah. We're on the last act, but there's not a lot of chapters. I don't really know what they are, whatever. The sound of my alarm is an unwelcome intrusion of us on a sleep. That's been a battle to obtain. I doubt I've been truly asleep for more than an hour or two. Too much on my mind. Did I make the right choice, leaving the house yesterday? Did I manage to get Emmy to realize how unreasonable she's been? Yeah. Am I ever going to manage to get her to stop being unreasonable? Emmy's mom gave me a new perspective the other day, but I'm still not sure that it's the right perspective. She was hurt when I left yesterday too. I know that part of any conversation is going to have to include an apology about that. Right thing to do or not, I hurt her. I hurried down to the track, eager to talk to Emmy. I think I know what to say. Apologize for leaving first and go ahead from there. Unless, of course, Emmy doesn't show up. Which, from the looks of things, seems like it's the case. It's been about 15 minutes since I got here and there's no sign of her. She's never late, not unless she's sick, which is unlikely. She probably just doesn't want to see me right now. Yeah. To take my mind off what that implies, I begin my warm-up routine and take off around the track. It clears my mind wonderfully for the half hour of running. I don't think about anything but the run. However, once I finished and Emmy still hasn't shown up, I got a little worried. With any luck, the nurse will know where she is. If nothing else, I can see what he thinks I should do next. Okay. So last night didn't go too well, I take it. Huh? You already know? No, why did I say no like that, bro? I have my ways, and it's not as if I'd miss a distinct absence of your running partner this morning, would I? No, I suppose not. So what happened? Don't you know already? Maybe, but I could be bluffing. Perhaps I'd prefer to get your side of the story before I give any advice. I quickly fill the nurse in on the events of last night, and he takes it all in without changing expression once. Nothing about the whole event seems to surprise him. Although he does seem surprised when I say that I didn't follow Emmy. Choose to talk to her mom instead, huh? Oh crap. Smart move, though I guess it didn't work out too well for you in the end. Well, I'm not sure. Emmy seemed apologetic when I left. Or at least she seemed that way until she put up her defenses again. The nurse sighs and spreads his hand in a conciliatory gesture. Frankly, I'm surprised she let them down at all. Emmy's had a lot of practice on that score. You probably won't get anything else out of her. I don't believe you. Is that so? You think she'll tell you the whole tale? I'd swear I just saw the nurse's eyes glittering a little. His expression is the same, but he leans forward ever so slightly. I think she'll open up if I ask her without being an idiot about it, yeah. Nurse gives his enigmatic smile a response and shrugs lightly. I think he's enjoying his role a little too much. That's the real trick, isn't it? Are you sure you know the right way to approach the subject? I can guarantee that Emmy's going to try her hardest to pretend last night didn't happen. It will be painfully awkward for the both of you, but it'll also be a lot safer than trying to ask her for the whole story again. It could get it could go worse this time. Are you ready for something like that? It sounds like a challenge, like he doesn't believe for a minute that I'd be so bold. I actually feel a little insulted by his lack of confidence in me. Of course I'm ready for that. I love her. My outburst gets a raised eyebrow in response. Well then. Good luck. Let me know how it turns out. Although he delivers his parting shot with the same smirk as usual, I actually think that the nurse wants me to succeed. Oh man. God. I resist the urge to charge directly to Emmy's room to prove the nurse wrong. I've gone in half-cocked before, and the results were less than stellar. If I'm going to do this, I need to figure out exactly what I'm going to say and how I'm going to say it. Something to think about in class. Okay. Sure enough, by the time lunch rolls around, I think I have a good idea of what to say. I can do this. She's not gonna be there, right? Bell rings, and I grab my lunch and dash up the stairs, eager to be there first. I'll need to ask Rin to leave, and I'll need to... What the heck? Hi, Hisao. Sorry I wasn't able to run with you this morning. I overslept. Somehow both Emmy and Rin have managed to get to the roof before me. Oh, that's no problem. Last night was kind of draining, I guess. Emmy's expression doesn't alter in the slightest. Yeah, sorry about that, but I've had such a weird morning since then. Oh, really? Emmy proceeds to make small talk for the rest of the time. I can barely get a word in edgewise, and soon find myself interjecting with the sort of back and forth dialogue that seems to have defined our early relationship. I'm not gonna get anywhere on this problem during lunch, obviously. I can respect that. Emmy obviously doesn't want to accidentally pull Rin into things, and that's fine. Not that I think Rin would notice, but I can at least respect that sort of rationale. I try a different tactic. Hey Emmy, what are you up to after class today? I was thinking we could go somewhere for dinner or something. Emmy looks genuinely remorseful. Sorry, Hisao. I promised the track captain that I'd stick around after practice and help some of the other kids with their form. It'll have to be some other time. Yeah, sure. Okay. I'm honestly not sure what to do now. Maybe diving into things that maybe diving into things the day after would be a bad idea anyway. She might still be angry about it and just not showing it. Besides, if she's got track team responsibilities, that's fine, right? I tell myself some variation on this theme the next day. Then the next day, I wake up, run with Emmy, during which she refuses to talk about anything but the run and what she was doing the night before, and then lunch, where we sit and make small talk until the bell rings. Her new responsibilities effectively keep me from seeing her outside of school. Maybe, just maybe, I'm letting it happen because it's safer that it's this way, just like the nurse said. Except, while it may be safer, I'm feeling more and more wretched. Emmy doesn't look good when I see her anymore. Dark circles lurk under her eyes. She seems more and more distracted, and I can't bring myself to just ask what's wrong because the timing never seems right. I'm absolutely miserable. Damn. Okay. Another lunch comes. I trudge up the stairs to the rooftop like a condemned man. Rin is up there, but Emmy is not. Immediately, I worry that something's happened to her. Maybe the lack of sleep finally made her collapse or something worse. She seemed pretty tired after our morning run. Maybe she fell asleep and didn't even make it to class. Hey Rin, where is Emmy? In response, I get a rather penetrating look from Rin, and something approaching a frown appears on her face. Is that information really important? I think so. She's usually here with you, isn't she? I don't know. I have no way of being sure. I can confirm that she is, in fact, usually here with you when I come up. Well, she isn't now. Does that worry you? Kind of. Oh, there she is. That seems to end the conversation, and the point becomes moot. Anyway, because Emmy bounds through the door with her usual energy. Hisao is kind of worried about you, Emmy. I don't think he can decide. Or maybe I just don't believe him, but I think I'm going to go somewhere less awkward now. What? Okay. I'm so surprised by Rin's being so suddenly forward about it. Well, anything at all that I merely watched her head through the door. What? Emmy is similarly surprised and colors slightly crimson as she stares open-mouthed at me. It occurs to me that I should probably say something, if only to break the awkward silence that has suddenly descended. It's because you weren't here yet. I was worried about... Why? You're usually here, so I was worried that something had happened to you. This isn't the first time that I've been late, you know. Did you get worried all the other times too? Or not really. Emmy seems slightly amused by this. I don't know why, but that kind of pisses me off. So why was this time an exception? Maybe it's the light teasing tone of the question, but something in her response pushes me to be honest. Though I can't help snapping at her when I say it. Because you've been worrying me since dinner at your house, that's why. Well, now it's out in the open and Emmy's eyes are wide and she looks like she wants to bolt, but she doesn't. Still on that, I see. What? You think I'm supposed to just forget it? You threw me out of your house. We've been going on for almost a week pretending it never happened. I didn't see you bringing it up either, you know. I know, and I'm sorry that was the case. We have to address it. Or we'll just keep up this whatever it is we've got right now. It's killing me to look at you right now. Did you know that? Those circles under your eyes and that distracted look in them. And I can't help worrying that I've caused it somehow. You haven't, trust me. Well, I haven't helped either. I keep pushing you to tell me things you aren't ready to tell me. Maybe I was wrong to try getting your mother to help me out, but I've been so worried about you that I didn't know what else to do. Well, you don't have to worry about me anymore, okay? I think it's pretty clear we're not right for each other, so maybe you should just stop. Her face is twisted up as she says this, like she doesn't want to say it, but forces herself to anyway. You don't actually want that, do you? Heck, you can barely bring yourself to say it. Anyway, it won't keep me from worrying about you. I care too much about you to just stop on command. You don't want to tell me what's wrong, that's fine, but I won't stop trying to help you, even if it's just standing by you. Stop saying that! She's shaking now, and as she looks at me, I can see she's afraid and frustrated and a million different things all at once. I shake my head slowly to take a few steps towards her. You know what your mom told me? She told me that you'd never ask for help because you know that you're strong enough to get through anything on your own. That's not the full story, is it? Her eyes go wide and she takes a step back. I keep going because I think I finally figured it out. Something tells me I won't get another shot. I've put it off for far too long as it is. There's no harm in having someone help you unless you're worried about needing help in the first place. You're scared, aren't you? Because of... I trail off because I don't know for certain what happened to Emi's father and I don't want to jump to conclusions. Well, never mind. Why? But it's okay to be afraid. You've been running from it and from me for so long. Even though you know eventually you have to turn around and face your fear, and I'm going to be there to help when you do. I won't stop because I don't think you want me to. I can understand that sort of determination, can't you? I can see that I've gotten through to her, but she quickly falls back to anger to try and push me away again. Back on your white charger, Hisao. Gotta help the poor cripple face her emotional problems, bro. What? What do you know about me and about what I've already had to face? You think 2 months of learning to walk again was fun? But I did it, and after I did that, I had to. For a moment, it seems as if she was going to say something else, but she cuts herself off. And after all that, you don't think you can get past your fear? Emi, I can't fathom what you've been through, but to come through it and still be the sort of girl that you are, well, it makes me think that you have even more strength than you think. So I'm not going to help you because I think you need rescuing. I don't want to be a knight rescuing the damsel in distress, but even knights help each other out. You know, I want to help you even though I know you can do it on your own. For a moment, it looks like Emi's going to break down completely, but she doesn't. Tears run down her face, but she stares at me steadily. Why are you trying so hard to help me? I say that it's because I owe you one for helping me out when we first met, but that wouldn't be the truth. The truth is, I just want you to be happy because I love you. Had I ever said that before? We've been in a relationship and it's been pretty obvious that I love her, but did I ever actually speak the words? What did you say? I say it again, savoring the feeling of being able to say it at all. Being able to say it and mean it. Emi seems stunned. I said I love you, Emi. I love you. Just you, and that makes me want to stand by you no matter what you have to face. I'm wrapped in a fierce hug then and as Emi begins to sob against my chest. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about everything. But I'm so scared, Hisao. I'm so scared of losing you, and I love you too, but I can't lose you. I'm sorry. I hold her quietly, shushing her until she settles down. She steps back a little more composed. Will you come with me tomorrow back to my house? There are some things I need to show you if I'm going to do this. Of course. Maybe this time we can leave together instead of separately. Emi grins a sudden flash of brightness that seems more genuine than anything I've seen in the past week. Yeah, maybe. The lunch bell rings, and I curse the universe's poor sense of timing. Are you free tonight? We can talk more then, right? Emi shakes her head. Sorry, Isao, but I'm still helping the track team. Plus, I don't think it would be good if we talked this over tonight. I'm going to be too tired to think properly, and I want to be able to tell you everything without screwing it up. You can wait, right? Even now, there's a bit of fear in her voice. I smile and rest a hand on her shoulder. Okay, I'll be waiting. Emi gives me a quick kiss before she heads for the stairwell. Thanks, Isao. See you tomorrow morning. Wouldn't miss it. Okay. I head down the stairs with the feel of her lips on mine, suddenly aware of how much I've missed that sensation. I'll have to remember to thank Rin for getting us to talk to one another. Although it's possible she won't even realize what she's done. Still, if not for her, I doubt I'd have ever been able to confront Emi again. I guess I needed more help than I realized. Tomorrow, however, I'll need to stand alone through whatever Emi's trying to work herself up to doing. I'll be up to the task, I hope. Damn, okay. Okay, on to the next one. You know, I think, because this signalizes the next chapter, I believe, right? Every time that shows up, I think. Maybe not, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's what that means. Whatever. The morning sun is bright through my open window, and the sound of my alarm quickly has me up and about. I slept surprisingly well last night, secure in the knowledge that at least I've got another chance with Emi. If I can just keep myself from doing anything stupid, maybe I'll find out what's been eating her recently. I have a few educated guesses, but nothing concrete. And certainly nothing that I'm going to say to her. I'd much prefer to have her tell me herself. Although, I can't help remembering the nurse's warning that I might not like what she has to say. Do you really need to know that badly? What if it's something awful that makes me repulsed by her? Can I really say that I'm prepared to handle whatever she has to say, regardless of what it is? Emi said she wanted to tell me without screwing it up. What the hell does she mean by that? What's there to screw up? I suppose there's not much use worrying about it, though. I'll find out today. It occurs to me that I really need to run this morning, to clear my head if nothing else. Emi is waiting for me as promised, looking a little haggard but otherwise bright and cheerful. Much more so than any previous day this week. Sal, you're late. I wave my hand dismissively. Nonsense, you're just early. Emi grins back, and it feels like we're finally back where we should be with one another. Except now Emi, not just me, wants to take another step forward. Although a part of me worries that she'll back out at the last second. Hurry up and stretch, Sal. I don't want to miss the bus. The bus? I said I want you to come back to my house, remember? And I promised Mom we'd be there in time for lunch, so I wanted to hurry. Early start, huh? It's more for my mom's benefit than anything else. Oh well, that's okay. I unsuccessfully try to guess what Emi has planned, shortly before realizing that it doesn't matter that much to me. I quickly go through my warm-up routine, while Emi bounces impatiently from one foot to the other. She really does seem to want to get moving as soon as possible. Okay. The run is over so quickly I can barely believe that I haven't fallen over dead afterwards. Emi sets a blistering pace and I, in my foolishness, kept up with her. Well, until the last few laps I had to slow down just in case, but I don't mind, and Emi's waiting patiently for me when I finish. As patiently as she can wait anyway. Finish, good, come on. Okay. Grabbing my arm, she practically rushes me down to the nurse's office. You seem in a hurry, Emi. Trying to catch the early bus? Yeah, I told my mom I'd be back for lunch. Well, I'll take care of you first then. Sal's gotta come with me too. The nurse raises a single eyebrow at the statement and peers at the two of us searchingly. I can't raise my eyebrows. Really? Today, huh? Emi's response is a nod, followed by a surprisingly shy grin. Well then, we'll make this quick. Emi enters the nurse's office and I patiently wait outside for it to be finished, wondering why the nurse seemed to be surprised by Emi's declaration. I feel like I'm missing out on some joke or the significance of the day, beyond the fact that it is clearly significant in some way, of course. Yeah, I know exactly what today is. True to his words, the nurse has Emi out of his office surprisingly quick, and I take her place after promising to meet up at the front gate. The nurse takes my pulse and listens for a bit. Your heart beats faster than usual. Been pushing yourself again, have you? Well, Emi seemed to rush to get through the run, so... I'm not surprised. Today is rather important to her, you know. I suspect that could be the case, but I have no idea why that's the case. She hasn't told you. Interesting. You're not gonna tell me either then. No, I'm not. I suspect that Emmy has her own plan for explaining today to you, and I don't want to mess with that. You'll find out soon enough, so what's the rush? Now, as for your heart, I would take it easy the rest of the day. No spontaneous races or anything like that. Got it? Got it. She won't have her running legs on anyway, right? No, but if you think something like that is going to stop her... Good point. I don't think it'll be much of an issue today. Or of all days, but still. If he's trying to reassure me, he's doing a terrible job. I'm quickly becoming more and more worried about what today could be. I like suddenly finding out Emmy's in a cult or something. Bro, what? At the same time, if today is such a big deal and Emmy wants me to be with her for it, then maybe she really does want to grow closer to me. Maybe this will be the answer to all the riddles, to the sleepless nights and the sudden mood swings, okay? Either way, I barely remember to thank the nurse before taking off as quickly as I dare for my room. To get a shower and throw on some decent looking clothes. If today is as important as it seems to be, I should dress appropriately. Okay. Emmy, of course, proves me wrong as soon as I reach the front gate wearing her usual shirt and shorts. So at least I know it's not a terribly formal affair, whatever it is. You're early, Hisao. Not as early as you. Eager, are we? Emmy cheekily pokes out her tongue. The bus stop isn't very crowded at this hour, which seems to please Emmy, and we end up relaxing a little as we wait. We sit in silence for a while, but I can tell that Emmy's trying to work herself to say something. I don't have anything to say myself, so I sit waiting for her to talk, and it doesn't take too long. So, I'm sure you're curious as to why the nurse thought it was so weird for me to be bringing you along today. I was a bit, yes, but if you're not ready to tell me. Emmy stops my silence by placing a finger on my lips. Don't tempt me, Hisao. I want to tell you this, but I'm just uncertain as to how to go about it. I don't want to keep delaying or deferring. I just want to be able to say it. So say it. You know that it's not going to be that easy for me, Hisao. So treat it like running. Warm up to it with something small and easy and go from there. But don't do it too fast, okay? I'm a patient man. I can wait for you to get to it. Emmy seems to consider my words, weighing them against what is probably a desire to get it over with. I admit it. I will admit, as much as I keep telling Emmy to take her time, I wouldn't mind her getting it over with eager. Or with it, okay, whatever. But somehow I know that Emmy probably needs more time than the bus ride will provide to get it all out, whatever it is. Yeah, maybe you're right. A bus stop probably isn't the best place for this anyway, but just to make sure that I don't go back on my word, I'll at least say this. She takes a deep breath, lets it out, and after a moment says in a low voice, "We're going to see my dad today." The words hang in the air, and I can see that Emmy's afraid that I'll panic and disappear in response, which a part of me almost wants to do. But it would be stupid of me to back out, or to suddenly abandon the promise I made to be there for Emmy when she needed me. The nurse thought it was so weird of her to bring me along. She doesn't bring anyone along, or at least I'm willing to bet that she hasn't before today. The day seems to take on an even greater significance. What has it taken Emmy to even get this far? And why is that the best I can manage as a response? Yeah, I don't know what to say. Nothing, I think. Just promise that you're going to come with me. Of course, you know I will. Emmy smiles, wanly, looking a little relieved. Good, in that case, we'd better get going. The bus pulls up just a little after she finishes the sentence. Okay. Vague memories of my first trip out here come to mind as I step off the bus, and unfortunately, they're too vague to be of any use. I'll be the first to admit that I don't quite recall how to get to Emmy's house, so I let her lead the way. She seems content to walk in silence, and I myself have no idea what I could possibly say, so the two of us arrive at her house having said nothing since getting off the bus. Emmy's mother opens the door and doesn't seem surprised to see me standing next to her daughter. I expect that Emmy would have phoned ahead to let her mother know the change in plans. Emmy, Hisao, you're just in time. Lunch is just about ready. Great, I was afraid we might be running late. As far as you were as fast as you were going this morning, I doubt there was much of a chance of that. I certainly hope she wasn't too much of a bother, Hisao. She tends to get a little paranoid about being on time when food's involved. I hadn't noticed. This earns me a swat on the arm from Emi, who, despite the serious nature of our conversation on the bus and the almost brooding quiet walk, has become cheerful again. Okay, probably to keep her mother from worrying about whatever it is Emi plans to tell me later. Miss Ibarozaki ushers us in, and in short order, we're around the table devouring lunch. I hadn't realized how hungry I was until I got here. But for once, I seem to be eating almost as much as Emi. Goodness, it's a good thing I made so much. The two of you are acting like you haven't eaten in days. I skipped breakfast this morning. Me too. I had to catch the bus, I assume. That, and I figured you'd make too much food, so it wouldn't matter if I skipped breakfast. Well, it's good to know that I'm predictable. Emi nods enthusiastically, and conversation falls off again as we nearly clear the table of anything edible. It is a testament to the sheer amount of food on offer that we don't finish everything. God. Oh man, after reading for a while, I start like freaking not knowing how to read. Start forgetting how to read, bro. I lean back in my chair with a sigh and thank Miss Ibarozaki for the food. I'm glad you liked it, Hisao. Now, has Emi told you where we're going? Yeah, sort of. Is it far from here? Not really. We will drive there to save time. It closes kind of early. I nod in assent and stand up, ready to go. Oh then, shall we? Okay. Miss Ibarozaki nods and leaves the room to grab her keys. Emi, I notice, has started to fidget nervously. Second thoughts? Emi smiles tightly at me and shrugs. She's fallen silent again, which probably means that I'm right and she is starting to regret bringing me along. Not that I blame her. She's done such a good job of shutting me out that I doubt it's easy to suddenly open up. Honestly, I'm worried that she's forcing it. But she said while waiting for the bus that I'm not supposed to give her a chance to back out. And since I promised to go with her anyway, I suppose there's not much of a choice. I can't go back on my promise, and she can't go back on hers. I just hope the both of us are up to it. We're off. Emi's mother blows through the dining room, collects the two of us, and heads out the door at a brisk pace. Now I know where her daughter gets it from, okay? The car pulls up at the cemetery gates, and I feel Emi tense up beside me. I reach over and give her hand a comforting squeeze, which causes her to relax a little. Emi's mother doesn't follow us, explaining that she prefers to visit the grave alone. Emi steps through the gate and looks back, as if to make sure I'm still there. We step into the cemetery. I don't feel comfortable in cemeteries. Gravestones litter the ground, each one serving as a reminder that someone used to be alive and is no longer. How many died young? How many were as old as I am? When do I wind up with a marker of my own? How much longer do I have left? The concept of not waking up, not seeing Emi anymore, is not a happy one. It frightens me, and I very nearly turned around and exited right then and there. I don't want to go among dead people. I don't want to see their stones and think about who they were or what they could have been if they'd only had more time. Then I look at the girl next to me, and my resolve returns. Emi striding purposefully down the path, eyes clear, setting a pace that's very nearly a jog. The sooner we get there, I suspect she thinks the better. We're here. Okay, I'm gonna hide that. Look at that. Look at it. It's a gravestone. Definitely what that is. A gravestone. Wholly unremarkable in everything except for the name etched upon it. The grass has grown up around the base. Emi's eyes are riveting to the stone. After a few moments, she turns around, looking surprisingly calm yet solemn. Pink's not actually my favorite color, you know. Or what? I'm warming up to it. People tend to think that pink's my favorite color. I think it's because I like strawberries, and even though those are red, they just assume that pink's the right color for strawberries. And that is my favorite color. But it's not. I'm too polite to tell anyone otherwise. Of course, that's not the kind of thing worth getting worried about. But I'll bet even you thought pink was my favorite color. Pink is the color of strawberries on the inside, on the inside of strawberries are pink. Blue, that's my favorite color. My mom and dad are the only two who know that, and now you do too. Thanks for telling me, I think. You're welcome. There's a pause as she considers what to say next, drawing a quick breath. I can't carry a tune to save my life. I can hum, but actually singing a song is something I've never been able to do. I don't mind because I'm not a fan of karaoke anyway. Oh, that's one potential date idea out the window. People all think that I'm a really popular and friendly person, but I only have a few close friends, probably because I keep everyone in the dark, but I think it's also because I hate the idea of losing a close friend. There aren't many people worth the risk. I'm terrible at saying goodbye. I sometimes think that I only run because it's what I used to do with my father. You're not my first boyfriend. I dated a guy for a long while during my second year at Yamaku, but in the end we broke up because I didn't want to get close to him. He couldn't live with the distance between us. Her rate of speaking increases slightly as if she's rushing towards a finish line. I'm actually 1 year older than you. Everybody thinks I'm younger because I'm short, but I had to skip one school year because of my accident. They initially thought I was paralyzed when they pulled me out of the wreckage. I'd lost my legs already, but they weren't afraid that I wouldn't even be able to use what was left of them. After surgery, it was clear that their initial assessments were mistaken. I couldn't feel my legs because of shock, short-term paralysis due to the other traumas I'd experienced. My recovery was one of the fastest they'd ever seen, or so they told me. I never found out if they were serious about that or if they told that to all the patients learning to walk again. She pauses, gathering herself for one last effort. 8 years ago today, I lost my legs, and I lost my father as well. He died on the way to the hospital. I didn't even get to go to the gravesite until 2 months later, and I couldn't attend his funeral. I'm so sorry. Don't be. That's what everyone always says, that they're sorry. I hate hearing that, like anyone could have done anything to change what happened. You know the best piece of advice I got? These things happen. I don't even remember who said it, but I guess they didn't have anything better to say. But it's true, These things happen, and there's nothing you can do about it. They aren't necessarily planned, and they aren't always bad, and they aren't always good, but they are. So I made the decision that I would live without worrying about the future, and to be sure that I never had to say goodbye again. I decided I wouldn't let people get close to me anymore. After all, they could be taken away at any time, and you know what? She laughs a little bitterly. Her eyes start to well up with tears, and I step forward to embrace her, but she holds up a hand to stop me. Not finished. A deep breath, and she continues. It worked pretty well until I met you and saw that you were trying to adjust to stuff here. So I thought I'd help, and then you were so nice and I couldn't help it. I just... Okay. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. The tears are flowing now, and she accepts the embrace this time. The rest of her sentence is mumbled into my chest. I tried not to fall for you, but I did. And then I tried to keep you at a distance, like with my first boyfriend, but I couldn't. But I've been so scared because I don't want to lose you, and I might anyway. Hey, I'm still around, right? Maybe I won't be forever, but I don't think it'll be fun while it lasts. Neither of us could survive the day. There could be a bus crash or something, but so long as I know that I've been with you, I don't think it matters. A sudden thought strikes me, and I can't help laugh. My condition has me scared of dying so badly that I immediately seize the opportunity Emi presented to improve my odds of living longer. Without Emi, would there have been any motivation to keep up with my running? It hits me that Emi is the reason I want to go running every day, so I can spend as much time with her as possible. Emi looks up at me confused. We'll go on living until we stop, and when we stop living, we'll be able to know that at least we've had time together. I wouldn't have it any other way because I love you, Emi, and right now that's enough for me. Emi smiles through her tears and steps back from me. You know, it's funny. What is? I thought that the best way to live in the moment was to do it alone, but now I don't think I'd have it any other way. I'm glad I met you, Isao. Well, these things happen. Emi and I stay by the grave for a while as Emi pays her respects to her father, When she's ready to go, we exit the graveyard side by side. Okay. Emi's mother drives us back to Yamaku. The trip back is very quiet. We wave goodbye as the car drives off, and I glance down at the girl leaning on my arm. How are you feeling? Emi shrugs, non-committedly. I'll be fine. Come on, let's go. We pause outside the girl's dorm, and I turn to face Emi, ready to say goodbye. Why don't you come up for a while? Okay. The walk up to her room is in silence. I'm not sure why I supposed I'd be turned away at the door. I guess I just assumed she'd want to be alone. Her mom, the nurse, hell, everyone who knew the significance of the day seemed to think it best to leave Emi alone. But she took me into the graveyard with her. She told me the whole story of what happened on the day she lost her legs. She wanted me around. The significance of this does not escape me. Emi opens the door and steps into her room, not even bothering to invite me in, holding the door for me expectantly. I step in and the door swings shut behind me. Hey, can I ask you a favor? Sure, can't guarantee I'll do it, but... Emi giggles and pulls me into a kiss. That starts out soft, but it deepens into something almost desperate. Stay with me, please. Her voice has dropped to a whisper. The question is barely audible, the sound of my own breathing. Over the sound of my breathing. There's something about the way she asked that question. The hesitancy in it. The quiet voice that makes me think she doesn't mean tonight. No, she means exactly what she said. Stay with me. Not tonight or forever. Because both of us know there's no such thing as forever. There's no time limit to her requests. There's just the request. The favor. Can I do that? Can I stay with her? Of course. We embrace again, Emi guiding me towards her bed, stepping backwards with care until she sits down on the edge. Yeah. We got melons now. We got the melons again. Yep. Definitely. Yep. We got the melons again. Perfect. Yay, melons. Fucking piece of shit. I collapse next to Emi, who almost immediately curls against me, smiling. For a while, we lay in silence, savoring the feeling of being next to one another. Emi is the first to speak. Hey, Hisao, thanks for coming with me today. I smile and plant a kiss on her head. Of course, my pleasure. Emi snuggles closer, and I can feel her breathing begin to slack as she begins to drift off to sleep. Just as she's about to fall asleep, she wakes up enough to mutter a single sentence. I love you, Hisao. Then she lets out a light, and then she's out like a light, leaving me feeling like I'm on top of the world. I draw the slumbering Emi as close as possible, hold the covers over us to keep the chill off, and fall asleep as happy as I've ever been. I see. Damn. Yeah. I still hate the melons. I hate melons. I hate melons. Well, I like melons, but you know, I hate the melons in this game. The morning light seems to reach further into Emi's room than it does into mine. The result of me waking up early than I would have if I had gone back to my room last night, as had previously been our routine. I did not realize until this morning, but this is the first time we've actually spent the night together. A small movement from my partner's still slumbering form causes me to look to the side. Hair splayed across her face, Emi continued to sleep peacefully, curled up next to me. It's slightly weird seeing her without her trademark twin tails, but it's also a look I couldn't get used to. The small size of the bed here necessitates her curling up, and I'm pretty sure she would have done so anyway. The covers are nearly over her head, and I smile as an errant. A strand of hair causes her nose to twitch slightly. Unable to help myself, I draw a little closer to move, a move which she seems to think is a good idea. Her steady breath raises a trail of goosebumps on my chest, but I don't mind. I am no longer tired, but I do feel a need to move from my current position. Or I do not feel a need, okay? Emi's warm body in repose against mine is far too comfortable to move. I gaze up at the ceiling and consider how it is that we got to this point. We've been close for a while, but not this close. It seems like only yesterday that she ran into me in the hall, and after apologizing, decided to take an interest in my well-being. But that grew into something else, which I at least was not expecting. One thing is for certain, having found Emi, I will try as hard as I can not to lose her. My morning musing is interrupted by further movements from Emi. Her eyes flutter open and she seems briefly confused by my presence in her bed. Okay, we got another one. She's, yeah. Yeah. Then she smiles happily and sits up, her face looking down at me. Good morning, Hisao. Hi, sleep well? Yeah, I did. Exhausted day yesterday, you know? I think back over yesterday's trip to the graveyard. Yeah, glad to hear you slept well. How did you sleep? Well enough, although you kept hogging the covers. This earns me a shove and I stuck out tongue. I chuckle and Emi giggles a little and we fall quiet for a while. I soak up the feeling of how right it all seems, waking up with Emi by me, crammed into a bed made for one person. It's something I used to get used to. Hey Sal, thanks for sticking around. No problem. Save me the way back, right? This draws another giggle, but then Emi's expression turns serious again. No, really. I kept trying to push you away because I thought that was the right thing to do. And you stuck around through it all. I haven't made any of this easy for you, but you stuck it out anyway. So really, I meant it. Thank you. She punctuates this by giving me a kiss, pulling back and looking at me with an expression of affection. I reach up and ruffle her hair, smiling all the way. I'm stupidly lucky, I think, to have come through everything after my heart attack, and to somehow have found this girl is nothing short of a miracle. You're very welcome, Emi. I couldn't bear the thought of giving you up. I'll even continue to stick around if you want. I'd like that. That settles it then. I don't know how long my heart will keep working, and I don't even really know what I'll do after this year is over, apart from going to university. As long as Emi's around, I think I'll be okay. I've managed to help her, and she's managed to help me. If we keep doing that, we'll be okay, I think. So Hisao, what do you want to do today? Damn, okay. It's the end credits. Oh man! God. Oh man, okay. So is that all? I don't know if there's gonna be anything after the credits. I don't think there is. But give me 1 second, you know, I'm gonna let the credits play out. And I'm gonna quickly go look at how to get the other endings. So I can probably do that in this video, so I don't have to make another one, you know? So give me 1 second. Okay, we're back here. So we gotta go after her. The only way to find out is to go to the source, and the source is currently pretending that she has to use the toilet. I excuse myself politely from the table and head that way, only to catch sight of Emi, not in the bathroom but in the kitchen, just next to the living room. Emi's left the door open, and as I approach, I can see that she's holding on to the table in an attempt to compose herself. An effort that fails as soon as I open my mouth. Doesn't look like nature's call was that urgent. Emi jumps and glares at me. What are you doing here? I didn't come here to be with other people. I just wanted to help you. You look pretty rattled. I said it was nothing, did I? And besides, I thought we'd established that you can't help me. No, we established that you're stubborn. Look who's talking, the guy who followed me. This is different. I want to help you with whatever this is. Funny, because I just want you to leave me alone. But why? Why can't you just trust me? I've been over this already, Hisao. I've got no deal with this stuff on my own. Or I've got to deal with this stuff on my own. My wording seems to have been a little off. I need your help? Well, it's a good thing we met, isn't it? Because otherwise, I guess I'd just be a broken human being, wouldn't I? No, it's the damn good thing that Hisao came along to save the day, isn't it? Because God knows I can't save myself, can I? I'm just a poor, emotionally damaged girl with no legs, right? I mean, you know, I don't think that. Really? Because if you thought differently, then I don't think you'd be here saying I need your help. I've gotten pretty far in life as a normal human being without you. So what? Nothing we've shared was important. I'm just the guy who hangs out with you. You're my boyfriend, Hisao, not my savior. Well, no, that much is obvious. I won't ever consider that I could just help to you, or I could be a help to you, will you? You'll just bottle it all up and hope that a run will solve your problems, or you'll come visit me and we'll fool around until you feel better. That's not being a healthy human being, Emi. That's not what a relationship means. Well, it's what it means to me right now, Hisao. I wish. She seems to reconsider her words just then, a flicker of pain, of doubt on her face. For a moment, I think she's about to cry, but the moment passes and now she's composed herself again. Whatever that wish was will have to go unspoken. Look, I can't do this right now. What? Have a serious conversation? Be open? Be honest? Give a damn about anyone else besides yourself and your problems? What do you think? What do you know about my problems? Nothing. You don't know what I've been through, so don't pretend that you do. I know you have nightmares. I know your father's gone. What happened to him? Emi's head jerks backwards as if I've just slapped her. That brittle quality has gotten back into her voice. It's enough. This is stupid. This whole conversation has just been variations of Emi's stonewalling me. Well, you won't even answer that question. Fine, keep your secrets. They can lie in the grave as far as I'm concerned. Emi's eyes widen in shock when she speaks again. It's in a voice that is low and dangerous. Get out of my house, Isao. The sudden change in her tone snaps me out of my self-righteous anger and makes me realize with a drawing horror what I've just said. I didn't mean... I said go, Hisao! Tell my mother that she cooked a wonderful meal, but you've forgotten a prior engagement, and get out of my house! She's trembling now, shaking with anger or sadness or determination. Her voice is still low, controlled, almost a growl. I reach out to put an arm on her shoulder to apologize for going too far, but she jerks away from my touch. Get out! What can I do? I walk out of the kitchen to go to the living room, make an apology to Missy Burzaki, and let myself go. Okay. So that was that. So there's another choice that I have to do. And then there's like two choices. So there's a way to go back to the good ending. So wait, hold up. So it says choose this choice to get the final CG and an alternate way to get back to good ending. Okay, so there's another way to get to the good ending if I chose this choice. But whatever. The morning alarm sounds and I roll over, switching it off. My eyes open blearily to stare at the ceiling. What am I going to do? Do I get out of bed, go down to the track and pretend that nothing happened? Will Emi even show up after last evening's events? I doubt it. Even supposing that she did, what would I do then? Get over the fight just to dance the same routine the next time something's bothering her? I know that I spoke hastily last evening, especially trying to use her father as leverage. But was anything I said really off the mark? She won't let me in ever, and she'll be forced to suffer alone. Nothing I do, nothing I say is going to change that. She won't change, and she's already decided to keep me at arm's length. Can I really bring myself to go down there and see her knowing that I'm never going to get past where I am now? No, I decided I really can't. Not today. I roll over and go back to sleep. She probably won't be there anyway. Damn. A mental conversation repeats itself when it comes time to go to lunch and I eat in the cafeteria alone. I don't want to see her. The very thought makes me feel ill. That night I go for a run. I'm solo for the first time since Emi got sick after the track meet. Skip seeing the nurse just in case he asked about Emi. I don't want to talk about her either. Okay. The next day I do the same. Alarm off, stay in bed, eat alone, run alone. I feel the time than I would usually be spending with Emi. I start reading more. It works surprisingly well until I find myself ducking into a restroom because I see her walking down the hall in between classes. If she noticed me, she didn't show it. Even though I don't suppose she ever shows anything. Certainly not to the girls from her class I see talking cheerfully to her. Or to her fellow track members. Especially not to me. Alarm off, stay in bed. Muto and I have a lengthy talk about the possibility that string theory is plausible. I don't buy it myself. More than 4 dimensions I can buy, but a bunch of vibrating strings at the subatomic level, that's asking a bit much. It looks like I'm not the only one to think this way too. Apparently it's not really as strong a theory as it once was. Muto says that's just because nobody has found the right way of looking at the data yet. Yeah. Eat alone. The rooftop is deserted today. I briefly wonder where Emi and Rin are, but shrug off the question. The important thing is they aren't here, so I won't have to talk to them. Since I have nobody to talk to, I bring a book with me to read. The weather's nice, if getting a lot hotter. Hopefully, it'll be cooler in the evening. A cool breeze seems to back up my theory. Yeah. Run alone. It is, in fact, cooler at the track. No sign of Emi, which is exactly the sort of thing I'm going for. I stretch out and start on my usual run, trying hard to ignore the lack of running partner in front of me. Finding my thoughts drifting damnably at the girlish laugh, incorrigible grin, those wide and friendly eyes, her incredible toned body. I increase the pace to clear my head. Chew up the distance between me and the turns, find the speed that makes me think only of my legs and how much they burn. I glance at my watch as I roll the final turn, noting that my time's gone faster. Okay. My heart seems a little squirrely tonight, so I give myself a few extra cooldown laps just to be safe. No reason to bring this to the nurse's attention. I'll be fine. A rather Emmy-ish thought to have, I'll admit. I have to hope that eventually I'll stop thinking about her so much. I finish another book before going to bed that night. I'll have to stop by the library tomorrow, and we're going to sleep. I don't know what these choices are. I don't know why I keep the early alarm on anymore, but it wakes me up the next morning just the same. I still turn it off and go back to sleep. That afternoon, as I get ready to head to the cafeteria for another solo lunch, I've got a new book about a couple of conmen in ancient Persia that I'm pretty excited about reading. I'm suddenly cornered by Misha and... I guess just Misha. Off to eat alone again, Hik-chan? We've noticed, you know. We? Shik-chan and I noticed that you've been spending more time alone. She wanted me to find out why, so I told her I'd ask you. I'm surprised she didn't ask me herself. She would have, but she wanted to get a head start on some paperwork. There's a lot of it since we're coming up on the end of the term, you know. Why the sudden interest in my well-being anyway? Shik-chan said it's the duty of the student council to keep track of the emotional health of its students. To allow a constitutional to spiral into depression unchecked would be an unforgivable failure of the council's duties. Well, that's easy then. I'm not depressed. But you're eating alone and nobody sees you and Emi together at all. Something happened, didn't it, Hik-chan? Misha's voice takes on a slightly sterner tone. And, though somehow she keeps the familiar lilt at the end of her sentence. I purse my lips, uncertain about how to respond. Okay, actually, so I'll save here, because this is actually the choice that I need to make. So there's downplay the issue, and then give in and let Misha know. So at downplay the issue, you get the bad ending. I'll do this one first, because you get another CG. You get a CG, and this goes to the alternate issue. Well, I suppose someone else knows about my problem. Can't hurt. Heck, maybe Misha can even offer some advice. We had a fight at her house. I keep trying to get closer to her, and she won't let me get close. And I said something stupid, and she threw me out. Have you talked to her since then? Misha looks genuinely concerned. I'm surprised, as I had almost expected her to drop the subject after finding out what the trouble was. Even more surprising is how quickly I found myself spilling my guts. No, I haven't. I just can't bring myself to face her after that. Oh man. I made a complete fool of myself, and she probably hates me now anyway. Especially since I haven't seen her since then. You're pretty slow, Hik-chan. This doesn't sound like advice, huh? Misha places her hand on her hip and launches into a speech that would sound more plausible coming from Shizune. The solution to your problem is simple. You have to go and apologize to her. Leaving things like this will just make things worse. You can't know that she hates you now unless she tells you. Otherwise, there's no evidence that what you fear is true. If you really care about her, shouldn't you be worried about how she's talking about this? Taking all this? With a sudden start, I realize that she's right. I've kept waking up to an early alarm because part of me wants to keep Emi at the track of for our runs. I've kept running because I know that Emi would worry about me if I didn't stay healthy. When I went to the roof yesterday, I was half hoping that she would be up there, and felt disappointed when she wasn't. I'm an idiot. Kinda, Hik-chan. So go apologize to her as soon as you can, okay? I open my mouth to say that I'll do it right away. But the lunch bell rings and I realize that I still have afternoon classes to attend. First thing after class is over, I'll go see her, I promise. And thanks for the advice, I guess. Misha beams at me as if I were a child that had just learned his ABCs. Good luck, I'll let Chink-chan know that you're okay then. Yeah, you do that. With a wave and completely disregarded the fact that people are starting to trickle back into the classroom, as opposed to out of it, Misha departs the classroom. I suppose she and Shizune have student council business again. Okay. While the afternoon wears on, I find myself impatient for lessons to end. I need to see Emi now. I have to try and set things right. Even if Emi hates me now, I have to at least apologize. I owe her that much. Should I meet her in her room? No, I decided. I would have delayed things too much. If I know Emi, then I can find her at the track. Still, I have no idea what I'm going to say when I get there. But I take comfort in knowing that Emi probably wouldn't have a plan for something like this either. Play it by ear, stop being nervous and just get to the track, figure the rest out when I get there, okay? The track looms ahead and another jolt of nerves hits me in the gut. I resist the urge to turn and walk away and instead note the satisfaction that I was right and Emi is still running. I don't make myself immediately known. I find a seat in the bleachers and watch her run instead, thinking back to earlier meetings. After a few trips around the track, Emi notices me and skids to halt, an expression of surprise that slides easily into one of anger. What are you doing here? Not quite the response I'd hope for, but at this point, I don't have much of a choice. I wanted to apologize for what I said the other day. The other day? She laughs, a curt exclamation of disbelief. It's been almost a week, Hisao. Yeah, well, better late than never, right? Emi crosses her arms and stares at me coolly, as if sizing me up. Finally, she nods. I suppose you're right. Water under the bridge then, I forgive you. Is that all? Her almost impatient question catches me so off guard that she's already halfway down the track before I think to shout after her. No, wait. She doesn't seem to have heard me. Or she doesn't want to hear me, so I give chase, disregarding completely the fact that I am not dressed for it. My feet hurt, and my shirt collar feels like a noose around my neck, but I still chase after her because if I don't, I'll lose my chance. Emi hasn't started to really accelerate yet, which is probably the only reason why I'm able to catch up to her. To reach out and tap her on the shoulder just before my legs give up running in dress shoes and stumble to a stop. Surprisingly, fortunately, all that running seems to have paid off. I'm short of breath, yes, but at least my heart isn't actively trying to force its way out of my ribcage. My touch on her shoulder has stopped Emi, and while there is a flash of concern when she sees me catching my breath, it seems that she has a good idea of what I'm capable of too. The concern is short-lived. What? She seems so irritated by my being still there that I almost lose my nerve, but I've lost my nerve enough. I need to explain myself. Why I can't just let the matter rest. Emi folds her arms and bounces one blade on the ground in an approximation of tapping her foot impatiently. Angry as she is, and as nervous as I am, she still looks beautiful. Okay, Sal, explain. The thing is, I know that you're really sensitive about the accident and about your dad. I can see Emi's face twitching at the mention of the two things that have steadily driven us apart, or at least made me feel like we're being driven apart. But that's why I want to know about them too, I think. Because I see how much they hurt you and I want to be there to comfort you. It makes me miserable seeing you sleepless and depressed, and I don't pretend you aren't because I know you. I know, okay? I just remember that night when you fell asleep with me and had the nightmare, and that you were happy to have me there when you woke up. I want to be able to be there for you like that whenever you need me to be. The stern face cranks slightly. Emi interrupts before I can continue further. Jess, stop right there. We can't see each other anymore, okay? She's rushing now. looking everywhere but at me. I'm surprised she doesn't bolt. She knows I can't catch her. We're not right for one another. It's not true and you know it. No, it's true. You're too... I know I've been pushy about knowing your past. If you can't tell me yet, then at least let me be there, even if I don't know the reason. It's okay, I promise I won't ask why you needed comfort. I'll just give it freely. Emi shaking her head and tears seem to be threatening the corners of her eyes. Stop saying that! Why? Because you're afraid you'll take me up on it? I'm not afraid. I can't keep the chitting tone from my voice as I respond. Yes, you are. You told me so yourself, remember? That's okay. Really, it is. However, it seems to me that someone who'd managed to come out of the wreck and still be as energetic and cheerful as you are would be determined enough to face that fear. Determination? What do you know about determination? I know that there's a girl so determined to take care of a total stranger that she'd steal his food at a festival. I know that there's a girl so determined to help me with my own problems that she'd draw up a completely dietary and exercise plan that she'd not only draw up and drop the plans, but she'd follow them with me even when she couldn't run. Determined enough to keep me at arm's length, that she'd put herself through emotional pain if she thought it was the right thing to do. Although there's one thing that this determined girl didn't quite plan for, which was that I might feel the same kind of determination to keep her from being hurt. I fell in love with you, and I refuse to let that be thrown away because you're afraid of losing me. With a little control, Emi still has, at this point, cracks, and I find myself suddenly enveloped in her embrace as she cries. Why are you doing this? Why can't you just leave me alone? Okay. This is the other scene right here. Yeah, okay. I hold her close and plant a kiss on the top of her head. I'm sorry, Emi. You helped me when I first arrived, so now I have to help you. It's only fair. You're utterly hopeless. Did you know that? She hiccups and trembles a little. Funny, I could say the same about you. Can you do something for me, Hisao? Anything. Can you go now? It feels like she's just shoved a knife through my chest. Go? I need to think, okay? I can't just tell you everything yet. I'm still scared, and when you're around, I think clearly. But do me another favor. What's that? Show up for a morning run tomorrow. I smile, feeling better than I have all week. Of course, I wouldn't miss it for the world. Emi steps back slowly, almost reluctantly. She sniffles a little, then grins at me. A real smile that lights up the track, overpowering the fading evening's light. See you tomorrow, Hisao. Okay. She darts forward, suddenly planting a soft kiss on my lips, then steps back shyly. Spinning on her back foot, she takes off running again, and I know that our conversation's at an end. My lips tingle with the warmth of that brief kiss, and the memory of other longer kisses. I walk back to my room with a spring in my step. Tomorrow when my alarm goes off, I'll get up. Okay. Okay. So we're here now. This is Act 4. So that was the end of Act 3 and stuff like that. So that was all that. Okay. I didn't know it was that far back. But I guess everything might be the same. Let me see. I think everything might be the same for all of that. So I'm gonna return back to main menu. I still have to save for the bad ending, but I don't really want to get the bad ending right now. I'm already like over an hour into the video. I don't want the video to be too long. And Act 3, or freaking the bad ending will start here again, and then I'll just have to go back and through all of Act 4 again. But yeah, we completed Emi and fully completed Lily as well. I'm gonna start Rins next time, but it'll be like a while until I actually start Rins. And then I'll probably do Hanako's because I do have Hanako's here. I don't have it saved though, so I can't really go to the save point. But I have Hanako's here. That kind of accidentally started when I was trying to do Lily's. But yeah, guys. Let me go to my gallery. We got first page done. Second page, there's these 3 that are missing. Which these are all of Lily's stuff. I mean, Emi's stuff. So why is there 3 missing? Are those from the bad ending? Do you get more CGs from the bad ending? I think so. So I'm assuming these last 3 are for the bad ending because these are all Act 1. stuff. All this stuff shows in Act 1. This is that one bad ending. And then these are all from Lily's path. I mean, Emi's path. God. These are from Hanako's path. And then this is Lily's path, which Lily doesn't have much. So I think up here is for Hanako, right? But those are different colors. Why? Why are these different colors? That's weird. Maybe those are, it's because those are from other endings. I know I've gotten all of Lily's endings. There's all of these, but why are there still blank ones? I don't know. If I fully complete the game and those aren't filled out, then I'll try looking into that and seeing why I don't have those. But either way, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my alt channel. What? Where'd the game go? I don't know where the game went. The game disappeared. Oh, there you go. Check out my alt channel. Find it first link in the description. Yeah, subscribe to that channel and subscribe to this one. Leave a like, comment down below videos you want, games you want to see me play, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out and bye bye.